Brash, abrupt decisions help nobody. Welcome to day 208 until I'm a YouTube millionaire. Brash, abrupt decisions, if nothing else, kind of whipsaw people in one direction or another. They make you unpredictable and volatile. Unpredictability has a place when it comes to things like trying to not be detected by an opposing military force or something to that effect. But when it comes to personal relationships or even governmental relationships, entire countries, people that you want to be able to trust, abrupt decisions do not breed trust. They breed distrust. They breed dissent. They breed confusion. They breed post-traumatic stress and a whole host of other negative things. There is a place for abrupt decisions, but it is not with people that you are supposed to be able to trust. Consistency. Consistency is key. It could even go so far as to say something like this. And this is an extreme example, but I've thought about this a lot to try to determine if there's any acceptable situation in which this could happen. Where if you are consistent, you can even go so far as to physically beat somebody and say, I am going to do this to you so that you can learn what it feels like. It's not because I hate you. It's not because I want you to feel pain. It's because I want you to learn. It is going to last for this period of time, and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to you, etc., etc. If you are consistent and you follow through with what you said, then even something so extreme as that can work. This is part and parcel to the difficulty with the excessive peaceful parenting of the modern era. Peaceful parenting is a very good thing in general. We want violence and abuse. Abuse is different from violence, and I'll explain in a second, to be the very last thing. Not even on the table, frankly. Abuse is really inconsistency. Violence, if you're consistent and you made your red line set, can actually be used for positive things. It is the inconsistency that leads to psychological trauma and disorders. When you're trying to figure something out, like me in my personal life, my relationships with the female species, trying to figure out precisely what I need to do, what the guy upstairs wants me to do, I must be consistent. But at the same time, as I discern the tertiary and secondary and quaternary variables attached to that, those other things that can be changed, that aren't going to affect the primary objective, then I'll see what I can do. I will be flexible. When it comes to global affairs, President Trump has been very consistent. There's no abuse here. There's no established trauma that he has caused. But we have trauma from our past as a country in the United States. Leaders that have constantly lied to us, whipsawed us, pulled us into unending forever wars. But President Trump has consistently said for 20 plus years, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. He put his foot down with this, ceasefire. And Israel breached it. Really, they both did, but Israel laid one hell of an attack on Iran. That is trauma. That goes from being consistent, from being a stabilizing force, switching to an eye for an eye, and making the whole world blind. I honestly couldn't care less if Iran wanted to have the last word, so they shot one missile up at the very end of the fight, only to have you guys shoot it down, or for it to miss all targets. Whatever. Alright? So you laid it on thick against them so that you could have the last word. Is it worth human lives? Is having the last word worth human lives? I'm not answering that question. That is a genuine question. Because honestly, there are certain situations where you could say that it is. When you're talking about global affairs, whole countries of people, it could be. I'm not saying this is the case. I don't know the details of the matter. What I do know is that you breached President Trump's trust. And you made an inconsistency that bred trauma, which could very easily breed more of the T word. Very easily. I will not add to that. If I do have to pivot and change my mind in something that is fairly foundational to who and what I am, or the mission that I'm trying to fulfill, then I will make it abundantly clear that I am. I will tell everybody. I will show everybody. I will not hide it, because I will not be party to causing more trauma to the human family. I won't. And you shouldn't be either. We have got to heal this pain. No more. Be consistent. No more. Setting up expectations to be failed. Expectations not meeting reality is the core of trauma, and the core of resentment, and the core of destructive mentalities, and destruction, frankly, period. While we can't do anything on the individual level to effectuate any change of the goings-on between those countries and the Middle East and all that stuff, nor should we ever consider boots on the ground. That is off the table. No more trauma. We can effectuate those kinds of consistencies in our own personal lives. The consistency that was set out by our religious philosophies, our theological teachings, is the healthiest path, for that is established consistency. Well known, well accepted, healthy, and good. If you are to diverge from it in any way, then you must be consistent. Otherwise, do you really love the people that you say you love? Or is it all about you? You shift your direction simply to get more power or control. Be consistent. All right, guys. That's all I got for you today. Love y'all. Peace.